I feel very confident that that hope will be fulfilled, that people will read this book and find one thing that they can do immediately to change their classroom to be more careful. We are full of care because we actually care about our students and about their learning. And there are ways we can demonstrate our care in how we teach.
Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Steps, produced by Apollo Performance and Turning Point Dance Creations. We've talked philosophy, we've talked technology, and now we get to talk about the practical tools. Nicole, your book, Careful Creativity, is about to be a must-have for educators everywhere. Let's dig into what can actually help people and what they can start using in their classrooms today.
Nicole, this book is so needed. I'm an educator of, 30 plus years at this point. What inspired you to write such a resource, and specifically a resource for movement educators in higher ed?
There was a couple of things. When I started doing ungrading specifically, which is not grading students' work, students grading their own work, a lot of my colleagues had very strong thoughts on that. And it was either then they'll all give themselves A's and that's not right. Or it was, oh my gosh, I want to do that. Teach me how you're doing that. So there are these two camps, and I felt like I had something to say strongly to each of them, that teaching is my job, not grading. So I don't really feel like I need to give students grades. Actually, I need to create spaces where they can learn. And that's what I'm more interested in than grading them. And I love hanging out with other people who want to do that too. So yeah, I'll teach you how to do this. So I had folks like already asking for that info. But then I was interviewing for a couple of different academic jobs in 2024. And when you do that, you have to like give a job talk and you say like, if you were to make tenure, what would be your tenure project? Like, what's the thing that you would do? And I was like, I have this idea for a book that is really about how my work as an intimacy director and intimacy coordinator and my focus on consent practices and trauma-informed practices has truly changed the way I teach, has changed everything about how I teach, from my syllabus to my in-class practices to how I give finals and submit grades. Like, it has changed every facet of teaching for me. And I think that there's a book in there. And I unfortunately or fortunately did not get either of those academic jobs that I interviewed for in 2024. And I was like, I still have this book. I still have this idea. I still have these people that my colleagues that are coming to me asking me how I'm doing this ungrading stuff. I am still teaching. I do still have these practices. Like, I'm just going to write the book anyway. And I did.
I love it. Each chapter in the book, you mentioned before, includes reflection prompts. How do the prompts help educators identify gaps or areas they can grow in their current teaching?
Yeah, I think reflection is so important. I know this, like, as a teacher giving it to students, because reflection is where the theory and practice of the classroom become personal and applicable. And so I wanted to make sure that the teachers who are reading this book had that opportunity too. And to not just have a book full of theories, but to have a book that they could have theoretical foundations for, so that when their colleagues were like, why are you doing it that way? Then the students will be too soft. That they had these great thinkers and philosophers and academics to go back to and say, here's some citations for you. But they also had their own belief system fully behind it and their own power. So the reflection section, some of them are assessments of like, okay, what you just read, how does your classroom fit into that? Like when we look at power dynamics, like, can you give your classroom a label of where is it in power dynamics, or the psychological safety scaffold? Like, where is it on that scaffold? And then some of them are really embodied, because I think our body often is telling us the truth when our brain is either freaking out because it's so stressed of like, oh my gosh, we got to make these changes, we got to do this stuff, or our brain is lying to us because it's like, it's not that bad. But our body is telling us the truth about things. So there are some embodiment questions that I also think are important for movement teachers to be like, right, We're in our bodies. When I think about sharing power with students, where does that sit in my body? What does that feel like? When I hear the word ungrading or I think about not assessing students, what sensations do I notice in my body? And not just being in our heads, because as teachers of movement, we're supposed to be in our bodies and our heads. We're doing both of those things. So there's some space for that. And then there's a lot of space for envisioning of like, now that I've read this stuff, what am I really excited to try, or how do I think this could look in my classroom? Sometimes I give examples of like syllabus language, and I'm very clear in it, like, this is my language and you're welcome to it because you've bought the book. But also there's going to be things in there that you want to change, and that you're like, oh, that word means something in my community that doesn't mean in yours, that I can't use it that way. But like, what does this look like for you if you took this template and made it into something in your classroom? So the reflections sort of run the gamut, but every chapter has lots of space for thinking and feeling.
That's a great lead in, because I want to talk about those templates. I love a template. I'm like, give me the framework and let me pop my own stuff in there as soon as I possibly can. So I love that you were able to give people access to the amazing templates. Can you walk us through one of them, one of your favorites, or just an example of one, and how educators can actually implement it like right now?
We'll offer two kind of extremes real quickly. Is like the syllabus. I give you the wording out of my syllabus for the different parts that I talk about, and people are welcome to just use it or make it their own. But I have in there like my full AI policy, because we were talking about AI in the last one, that really focuses not on don't use it, it's bad. I think it is bad, but they're going to use it anyway. So like, let's not do that. It focuses on creativity and academic integrity. Of like, you have to check your sources. It's not going to be right. So what are you going to do? And you're in this dance class or theater class theoretically to be creative. So why are you abdicating all of your opportunities to be creative to a machine who truly cannot create anything? Generative AI regurgitates. It should be called regurgitative. Is that a word? AI. Word, right? It's not creating anything new. It's taking old stuff and mashing it up. And while that can be useful in certain times for like summarizing and learning, it's not really creative. And so why are we not being creative? Because those are my values, right? Creativity and academic integrity are really high on my values, but I put that wording in there to be like, what is it about AI that's upsetting to you as a teacher? It might be creativity and academic integrity. It might be something else. It might be the environmental factors. It might be just that you think students should do their own work. I don't know, but you can find your own way to say that thing and have a policy that still invites tool usage, because again, AI is not going away. So we should teach people how to use it. The other template that's in there that I'm excited for people to have is my movement experiences guide, which is what I call a rubric. And it is my full rubric. You can have it. You can just use it. But I am very clear that these are the things that matter to me in class. And so those are the things that I offer students in the ungrading. And I have students pick 5. Maybe you want to use my rubric and have students pick 3. Maybe you hate one of the goals that I put in there and you're like, not that one. You can take it out. Maybe there's something else that matters to you and you want to put it in there. And I always put other there and ask students for, what is it you want to learn? What are you in this class for? What's your goal for this class? Somebody might be there truly to get a triple pirouette. They might be in class purely for that purpose. I do not have that on my rubric. I have things like centering and alignment that's probably going to help them with their pirouette. But if their goal is a triple pirouette and that's why they're in class, they should put that on the paper and grade themselves accordingly. So there's space for that. So I talk about how students can use it to work towards their goals, but the teachers are welcome to do the same thing.
Fantastic. What is your biggest hope that educators feel or gain after engaging with this book?
The final reflection section asks people to like think, what's one thing from this book that you can do immediately? And that is my hope, is that everybody with that book, whether they read the whole thing or they just focus on one chapter and are like, I want to think about assessments, is that they go out knowing there's one thing that they can do immediately. And then the other questions are like, what's one thing that you think you might want to try, but you're going to have to do some work, right? You're going to have to do some shifting, you have to do some changing. And what's something you want to try that like you're going to have to talk to your boss before you try it? Not all bosses are going to let you ungrade. Not all deans and chairs are going to let you ungrade, right? You got to talk to somebody about that. And if you have like a co-teacher, like you're teaching ballet one, somebody else is teaching ballet one, you got to have a conversation with them about that to make sure all the students have the same achievements going into ballet two. You got to talk to the ballet two teacher, right? There are other people that need to be involved in these conversations, but that people feel like they know what those are and that there seems to be something that they can do immediately and try. And just one thing out of a whole book, you can find one thing. So I feel very confident that that hope will be fulfilled, that people will read this book and find one thing that they can do immediately to change their classroom to be more careful, which is also why I use that term. It's not careful like, oh, we have to be on our tiptoes and not trigger anyone or offend them. No, we are full of care because we actually care about our students and about their learning. And there are ways we can demonstrate our care in how we teach.
I think the title's great. I love it. We are all about resources here, and we're going to give you lots today. Our STEPS initiative course was the catalyst for this show. It is a 5-part course series online. You can go at your own pace. That is going to give you foundation and resources and education and knowledge on racism and gender inequity and sex abuse and prevention, nutrition, psychology, and of course, dance, medicine, and science. And you can go at your own pace. It's completely free. So you have to share it. You have to take it. We have studio faculty that are taking this, convention staff. We have parents that take it with their children. When you know better, you do better. It really is that simple. And it just takes one small change to cause an avalanche, right? An avalanche of change. And that is what Nicole is doing as well. We encourage you to check out her platform that we talked about in the last episode. It is going to revolutionize the dance space and the choreography space. It's called Dancers.ai. Go check it out. It is fully up and running now. They're looking for funding. They are looking for testers. They are looking for testers in other industries outside of dance. This platform knows no bounds. It's going to be able to help so many people protect their work. So we're so excited for you to discover that. We want you to go look at Nicole's book. Go get Nicole's book, Careful Creativity in Theater and Dance Education. It is available for pre-order on Amazon now, Nicole.
Theoretically, it is. Last I looked, as of this morning, people could pre-order on Amazon because, speaking of Wild West, they do whatever they want, right? But you can pre-order from the publisher as of January 2nd.
And we are going to pop a very special surprise and gift in for you in the description. So make sure you click into there so you can get this a 20% off discount code after the pre-order period ends. You have to purchase before January 31st, but you will get a 20% off code from Nicole as a gift for listening to our episodes this month. So definitely check that out and click the description links below, and we will make sure that's in there for you. Nicole, tell everybody one more time how they can get a hold of you, consult with you, and learn more about your work.
Yeah, my personal website is my name, NicolePerry.org. And if you want to reach out to me personally and work with me as an artist, that's the way to do it. If you are interested in consulting or workshops, Momentum Stage, who also developed the Dancers.ai technology, is the place to do that. And that website is momentumstage.org. And if you sign up for our newsletter, in January, we're having a publication party. So you can join us over at Momentum in January to talk about this book even more.
We love a party here Beyond the Steps. So definitely join that newsletter so you can.
We're gonna have a virtual pizza party or something.
So you can be invited to the party. Nicole, it has been an incredible month with you. I loved having so many wonderful conversations, from redefining consent and safety to protecting artistic work to giving educators real tools that they can use. It's just been a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Yes, again, you are an alum, a big time alum of Beyond the Steps. So next week, everyone, it's just Bree and me, and we'll be recapping everything we learned from Nicole this month. It's going to be very hard to narrow it down to our main learning points, but we're going to really be talking about what it means for the future of dance education and everything that Nicole is doing, and how it really is going to revolutionize the space. So you do not want to miss it. Until next week, we hope you continue your journey beyond